see who's active and see what you can do for them. Bring some value to them.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I'm trying to networking is key. So
Yeah.
definitely talking to a bunch of people and seeing what I like. So appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, man. Best of luck out there.
Thank you.
Who else we got on here? Mr. Will Williams. I'm familiar. You there, Will? Let me guess.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Hey, how's it going?
All right.
Welcome aboard. How'd you hear about the group, and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm real brand new, I guess. Heard about the Meetup app or whatever. Trying to network, trying to make sure I know everything or most of everything. I don't want to go out, looking like an idiot or anything. And just brand new.
Gotcha. Well, welcome, Will. And I will correct you, sir. Yes, you do want to go out there and look like an idiot. Okay. You've got to go out there and look like an idiot. I'm telling you, man, you have to go out there and look and fuck up and be an absolute fool. And listen, man, embarrassment is absolutely free. Okay. And it's one of the best ways to learn something. Right. So I get what you're saying though, but there comes a point where you're just going to have to take action. Imperfect action. You're going to have to fail forward. Shout out to Kevin Beam. That's literally all it takes in this business is literally just going out and taking imperfect action. Just fail forward, man. I know for me, like, you hear about it too when you get like learning about stuff, and you've probably heard of this term paralysis analysis, right? You get people that all they want to do, well, they want to go out and do deals and take action, but they start just consuming so much information, and a new question comes up and they deep dive into that question. They spend all this time and energy watching videos, and then months come by and they haven't taken any action. They've got so much information, they feel like, oh, which way do I go? This way, that way, or the third. So I mean, get the basics, and you can learn the basics of this business real easily and quick, and just get out there, man. And you just got to take action. You just have to fail for it. I'm telling you, you got to jump off the porch, and you know what I'm saying? Just take the chance.
Okay.
And you could squat up with somebody, and learn, a little bit at a time,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right.
As a brand new wholesaler, trying to not only make the phone call and get the lead, get the appointment, then you got to go out to the house and figure out what it's worth and, what number you could get it under contract for. And then you got to have the contracts. And then, there's a lot to worry about. And then now you got to order title, and now you got to go find a buyer, and you got to make sure all that goes smooth. So if you have a partner that knows what they're doing, and you bring the lead to them, and they could take it from there and teach you as you go,
Right.
Just an option. We live by squatting up. We squat up all the time still. Even with experience, Michael's experience, I'm experienced, and we squat up together all the time. So, and then so that it's a way to learn faster, and you might not get make as much money, but in the long run you will, you will make more money because you'll do more deals than just one deal that takes you 6 months to get,
Right.
What area are you in, Will?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Nice.
Nice.
One thing, if you're not from Michigan here at this group, one thing you could do, because in the Michigan area, there's houses, rental properties that are very, very affordable, where investors in different states like Los Angeles, New York, for sure. I got a lot of buyers from New York that I sell houses to from Michigan. So Will, if you might even connect with people that buy rentals, and you could tell them about, Michigan, you could buy a house for 50 grand that rents for $1,000 a month. They'll probably freak out, you know, they'll say there's no way. And then we get it, we have connections to different property managers, that good ones. And whatever they need, we could help them. We could give them 2 or 3 referrals, and they could, you know, they could vet them themselves and see if it could work for them. So that's one thing that you could do.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
Yeah, man. So best of luck. There are some big outfits too, like in California and Los Angeles area, like big wholesaling operations. Like guys that you can, network with online. I mean, I'll drop a guy in the chat. If you follow this guy, his name is Scott Oots. Scott Oots. He's runs a huge wholesaling operation out of Los Angeles. You could reach out to his team. I know he does like JV, if you're like a newer wholesaler and you bring him a deal kind of thing, he'll help you run numbers on stuff. So just trying to network with people like that out in that area to, to squat up with, like Todd was saying. You could even Google search like "we buy houses," in Google and see who pops up and reach out to those people and talk to them. 9 times out of 10, they're going to be like some sort of wholesaling operation, and you could network with them and get an understanding of what they're looking for. And like we said, joining local Facebook groups, and just networking with people in your local market. It's going to be the best way to kind of get over some of those hurdles at first when getting started out. But yeah, just definitely taking action on things, learn the information, learn some of the steps, some of the key things like how to go and, market and produce leads and just start getting after it. So yeah, best of luck.
Yeah, I kind of like that driving for dollars thing.
Dude, totally. That's such an easy, low pressure, calm way to, get yourself into the game, right? You just get in your car, drive around, write down the addresses, look them up online, call the sellers. I mean, such a great way to get started. So definitely focus on that, man, for sure. Just take action, go out there, commit to getting 50, 100 properties a day if you're going to go out there and do it, something like that. And I mean, you'll see results. You just got to be consistent. So got to be consistent.
And don't forget, if you do run any leads and you're talking to a seller, and you can always ask the seller after you get the deal in the contract or when you're doing your walkthrough. I just had one last week, actually, Friday of last week. And I was talking to the seller and I'm asking them about the neighbor's house. There's 2 houses real close. One was next door, one was across the street. And he gave me the whole history. Someone just died, and he thought that the sister was going to sell, or the daughter was going to sell the house. And I took down the address, and at our boiler room Saturday, I got her number. I called her. I left her a nice voice message. And that evening, Saturday evening, she called me back. And I assured her, I told her that I was buying the house next door, and I told her the guy's name, and he told me you might be, he's not really 100% sure, but you might be looking to sell. And I said, that's all he told me, because I didn't want her to think that he was giving me all her business. And she said, yeah, I'm just we are ready to sell. So long story short, I went out there on Sunday at 10 o'clock and got the deal under contract, and I already sold it Sunday night, so it was that fast. And one thing in Detroit area, it's common, and just keep this in mind, and you can always mention it to one of the sellers. A lot of sellers think that whatever their SEV on their houses, because a lot of Detroit houses, the SEVs are 9 grand, 8 grand, 10 grand. Okay. They think their house is worth 2 times that amount. Okay. I remember this back in my refinance days. They always, it's usually, back in the day, it was 1.5 times is what we went off of. But for some reason, they think it's worth 2 times now. So that's what the lady told me. I asked her, what do you want for the house? And she said 40,000, but I know I'm not going to get 40,000. And then she said, I was hoping to get like 30. And then she told me that, I remember this. She said, but I know the taxable value is, it's worth 2 times the taxable value. So I was thinking 30,000. So I said, great. So when I went to the house, I looked at the taxable value, and it was $13,000. So right then and there, I pretty much got it for $26,000, double that. And so I knew it was a good deal all the way around for me. I was able to sell it for 40, and she was excited. I mean, she was happy. She's gonna do a testimonial for me, all the good stuff. So I mean, she was happy with 26. So it was just, I think I went in too high at 26, to be honest with you, but it's still, I was happy too, because I'm making good money on that one also. But that's just something to think about. And another thing that I do when I'm making an offer, I tell people, once I know I look at their square footage, and they tell me, okay, my house is 1,000 square feet and this and that. And let's say they want $40,000 for the house. So I'll look at the comps, and I'll say, look, the houses in the area are selling for around $23 a square foot. So that's what I'll tell them, right? I kind of give them, it's just something maybe it sounds like I kind of know what I'm talking about when I do it that way. And because instead of saying, look, I'll pay, and he goes, so for me to make this work, I could probably pay about $25 a square foot. I'm going to be right around $25,000, and they wanted 40. I do that all the time. It seems to work pretty well for me too. It's just another way of doing something a little bit different than other people, and trying to explain why you're coming way low instead of the standard, well, I'm going to have to do this to the house. I'm going to have to do this to the house and this and blah, 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 So it's just a couple of little things that I think about. I don't do it every deal, but some deals I do.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
So you have to basically know, see, that's something I'm not really good with math like that. So you have to know things that a person who would fix the house, like a contractor, basically would know, right? Because that's a lot.
Not necessarily. I mean, I really don't. I kind of go into it as, what do I think I could sell the house for? On the rent, it all depends on if it's a rental or if it's a flip and things like that. They do have formulas that you could maybe talk to wholesalers, that experienced wholesalers in your area, and find out what their formula is. They might say, look, it's $50 a square foot if it needs a major rehab to fix it. Okay. And if it's 2,000 square foot, that's $100,000. They might have formulas that if it's a light rehab, it might be $25 a square foot. It's just a way, because you really don't have to know that exactly yourself, because everyone that looks at it that does flips, they're going to come up with different numbers themselves, because some you do the work themselves, so they're going to be cheaper. Some might have a good contractor on their team, so they're cheaper, or someone uses an expensive contractor and they're going to be more expensive. So just try to get a ballpark and let them figure out what the house is. But you got to know, so you can figure out what makes sense to make an offer,
And also, how did you build up your buyers list?
Michael, you want to answer that, or you want?
I mean, some of the best ways I've ever done is just like I was mentioning before, or getting these Facebook groups, networking with buyers, figure out who commented before, looking for deals, um, you know, cold calling realtors. It's a great way to do it as well. Squatting with other realtors saying, hey, listen, I've got this deal under contract. I'm looking for a buyer. And then you can figure out their fee, whether you pay them out in the end or their buyers sometimes will pay them on the side.
Prop stream, you can look and see who paid cash for a house in the last 12 months. Also on the MLS, that's what I do also. I search an area and I look for the houses that were run down and someone paid cash for it. And then I could reach the seller, the buyer or the buyer's agent, either or, and see if they, because they're working with an investor and maybe they're looking for another property in that same area. So that's a good way of doing it. Or talking to other wholesalers, squatting up with someone that has a good buyer's list until you get one,
Mm-hmm.
I was actually gonna put a blast on my LinkedIn because I have a lot of investors on there. So I was gonna make kind of a blast,
excellent.
Few properties.
Great idea. Anything like that. Yeah. If you've got people on your social media, on your Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn following, great idea.
And also, how is because I'm not good with social media, like advertising. So is that working for you guys better, or is Drive for Dollars or pulling lists better?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not really, it all works. Okay. It all works at the end of the day. It just all works. It just depends on what if you have, say you've got more money, right, but you don't have the time, right? So maybe running Google AdWords or some sort of social media marketing would work better for you, right? Because you don't have the time to go out there and drive for the dollars. Maybe you don't have the money to run these Google ads or digital marketing. So, driving for dollars is like one of the cheapest ways to go out there and look for leads, it really just all depends. Whatever you're going to do, just be consistent at it and you'll see the payoff. Like I was telling Eddie earlier, I transitioned a business model where I'm doing Google AdWords now. I've never done it before. And I'm seeing success in it, but I've also seen plenty of success with cold calling as well, and that's where the majority of all the money I've ever made has come from, just cold calling. And I've driven for dollars before and seen success with driving for dollars. So it really just kind of depends, but whatever you decide to do, focus on that. Don't try to focus on 3, 4, 5 different marketing streams. Whatever it's going to be, focus and get laser focus on it and get very good at whatever you're doing. And then if you want to decide to branch off and, go a couple of different ways, you can try that. But again, you just got to kind of weigh out, what do I feel like is going to work the best for my situation? But I mean, anyone, like I know Dane, for instance, he mentioned, he just put in the comment about a gentleman on here. Terry, he's new. Write down addresses, look up owners. I mean, yeah, again, for anyone to get in the business, driving for dollars is great. Is one of the best ways to get started in the business, especially if you don't have much of a marketing budget. Looking up the owners and then going from there. So.
Yeah, Dane, and we're gonna wrap this up. It goes to 9 o'clock, but Dane, you said, how do you get the phone numbers of the homes you write the addresses down to?
Sure.
You got free people search. I use Ben Verified. It cost me like $20 a month. They got whitepages.com. I got Vulcan 7 that costs money. There's a lot of different services you could get phone numbers from. But free, if you're on a budget, you could try free people search and search them that way. And I'll run you through a script. It's really, really simple. It's, when you call somebody, like if I was cold calling someone, I would just say, whoever answers the phone, I would say, hey, sir, how you doing? I'll tell them who I am. I said, my name's Todd. I'm an investor. I'm actually looking to buy another property in the next 30 days. I'm really looking to buy 1 or 2 more properties. And I see you have a property here on Burt Road Street. And I was just reaching out to you to see if you consider a cash offer for the property. It's pretty much it, you know. And you can go online and listen to people on YouTube. You can listen to people making phone calls. You could get scripts from people, but you're basically just calling, and you don't want to sound like a robot. You could stutter. You could tell them you work with a local real estate investor, or you are an investor. You're looking to buy, 1 or 2 more properties in the next 2 to 4 weeks. And I see you have a property here on Burt Road, and I was just wondering if you're interested in selling. They say no, or if they say yes or no, whatever. If they say no, you can say, well, do you have any other properties that might need a little love that you're looking to, that you would consider a cash offer on? All right, you could always, you always try that. If they do say yes, then what do you say? That's another thing. I would say, great. Well, if I may, let me ask you a few questions and I'll see what I could do to make you happy. And then boom, I ask them a few questions about the house. I would ask them first, is this a property that you live in? Or is it a rental property? Is it vacant? And they tell you. And then depending on what they say, if it's vacant, then I would ask them questions. Well, what type of repairs does it need to bring it back, bring it together so it could be rentable? And then you can ask them some more things about the house, and always ask them, what are you looking to get for the house? How much? You try to get that price point out of them. And once you get a lot of the information, especially if you're new, you can say, well, here's what I'd like to do. Let me sit down with my partner. He knows this area really, really well. And I'm gonna, it's 9 o'clock right now. Would it be good for you if I call you tomorrow at 12 noon? Boom. You do some research and call them back. By then you'll have some more, you'll be able to look up some stuff on the house, try to get an idea what it's worth and things like that.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, for sure. Where are you at in Michigan?
I'm in Flint.
Oh, you're in Flint.
Yep, I'm local here.
Awesome.
Yeah, Flint. Well,
Awesome. Well, Michael, Carson's not on tonight, but that's where Michael and Carson, they have an office in Flint. I'm sure.
Yeah, I recognize you, Dane. Welcome. Yeah, you're always welcome. Come in the office anytime.
Yeah, for sure. My buddy Terry I work with, he works for the department as well, and we're always driving around looking at houses. And I had mentioned the wholesaling. This meeting's always on the same day my other meeting is, so I don't get
Gotcha.
much, but I appreciate you guys. I really do.
Dane, I met you at their office. I remember now. Yep.
Yep,
Yeah,
you're
same for you.
phone calls.
Yep.
Yeah, same for you, Terry. I just dropped our address there in the chat for anyone local to the Flint, Genesee County area. You are more than welcome to come in anytime, and we'd be happy to sit down with you. You can, we can chat. If you got leads you want to call, we'll put you on a dialer. We're happy to help out. So,
or if you guys come across houses, you see them all. You guys see the houses all the time that are abandoned or bad renters, things like that. Just get a list of the houses and bring it in. Mike will show you what to do, and Mike will do it for you. And you guys just squat up with Mike and learn from there. Or Carson, whoever you like, or myself.
Yeah, I told him yesterday about that, and just obviously learn as much as you can. And the biggest thing is being consistent with it. If you're going to do that and push deals to Mike or Carson, just do it on a consistent basis. They'll take care of you when a deal comes up that you want,
Yep.
Totally.
For sure. Yeah, you might buy one yourself and they'll wholesale the others and you'll make some money on those too.
sounds good.
All right.
Did anyone have any questions? I mean, or want to talk about something? I mean, I'll be honest, I'm willing to hang out a little bit longer. I've been kind of AWOL these last couple of weeks. So do anyone have any?
I have two more questions.
Yeah, sure.
So how is the market over there for you don't virtual wholesale everywhere? You just virtually wholesale within your state, right? I mean, that's either for
Yep, within
Chad
the
or Michael.
Todd, I know primarily is Detroit and Metro Detroit. I know that's his main focus. So, but for me, for instance, being I run the Google ads, I've started to target the entire state of Michigan. So I'm doing deals in separate counties that, are hours away. So him and we just have different business models. That's the cool thing about this business. You can have all different types of business models and they all work. It just really depends on what you decide to do and stick with. So
Yeah, because my coach, she does it like she has like 5 places where I don't know how her mother's been doing it for 30 years and she's been doing it for 5, but she lives in Florida, but she in Fort Myers, I think, and she does it as well as Phoenix, San Diego. Like she has like 5 places she does it. So I mean, me as a beginner, I feel like I should, like they said, stick to one town and not a big city. Stick to a smaller city because there's less competition. I was told.
yeah, sure. I mean, that's not a bad idea. I mean, you can cut your teeth in, a smaller town, a smaller, more local town to you. Before you decide to, go big like that, or, just expand a little bit. Again, it all just works. It just really depends on what you want to do and what kind of business model you want to run, but yeah, it's not a bad idea. Smartness, start in a small town like that, and cut your teeth, learn the processes. Sorry, just got a message. Do you have another question there, or was that the 2-parter?
Yeah, the second part was because if I do find a deal, which there are some deals I could find here, if I do JV's joint venture, right? Just to make sure. That what it means? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to, the deal would have to be cut where it had to go on your LLC. It can't be on mine because I'd have to pay, I have to give a portion to my company and I don't want them to get involved, obviously. I don't know, I think
we froze.
Yeah, he froze again. It's glitching. Michael, you're glitching. Yeah, he's glitching.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Guys,
Okay.
you guys there?
Yeah.
You guys hear me?
We
Yep,
can't.
we can hear you.
So, Todd, did you hear? I mean, I heard the question. I'm just not sure really what the question was. Do you need to create an LLC so your brokers don't get your fee? I didn't really understand.
So basically, because I
I
can't. Yeah, because I can't do it in New York because of my company. Whatever deal I do in New York, I can't get the proceeds from it. Like the title company has to give it to or whoever I'm doing the deal with. They have to cut the check in their LLC. Like I can't do that.
Yeah, that's what you would do is you'd create an LLC because yours is just an assignment fee. And, maybe you would talk to the title company that deals with wholesalers. You want to make sure you use that investor or wholesale friendly title company, because all title companies are not. And they will know how to guide you, but I would assume that an LLC would be the best route because of your company you work for. You know, most companies are, like Michael said, our company doesn't do it that way, you know. But we do put it in our LLC, you know, we do that. I mean, I had it done in my personal name before, but usually I do my LLC. So that's the way I would, but I would talk to the title company before you send a deal to the title company and find out the way that they would want you to do it, or just ask them what their process is.
Yeah, because I don't, the last thing I need to get is sued or, you know, kicked out from the company, so.
Yeah.
Good question.
All right. All right, Michael, I think I'm ending it. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, gang. Well, it was a pleasure. Good seeing everyone.
Yeah.
Drop my info in the chat in case you guys need it. Always reach out to me. I will be happy to answer any questions. I'll reach out, and best of luck, everyone.
Thank
Awesome.
you much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
My text.